What's going on, everybody? Matthew back again. This time for a TV review. We're talking about Game of Thrones Season 8, Episode 4. Let me start off by saying that I was very disappointed in this episode. I was also disappointed in Episode 3, but I was hoping that they would be able to right the ship, and unfortunately I believe that Episode 4 was worse than Episode 3. I've taken some notes here on everything that I disliked about the episode. Let me go ahead and bring that up real quick. Okay, so everything at Winterfell, I really didn't have a problem with. I didn't have a problem with any of the celebration. Brienne and Jaime actually felt right to me. I never thought that they would hook up, but when it happened, it actually felt right. I didn't have a problem with Tormund not hooking up with her. That wouldn't feel right for the character of Brienne. But I'm going to skip over everything at Winterfell because I didn't really have a problem with any of that. For me, the biggest problems with this episode happen after they leave Winterfell, and they're on the ocean heading towards Dragonstone. Actually, let me rewind a little bit and go to... I did have a problem at Winterfell, and it was the reveal of who Jon Snow really is. Now, ever since the show revealed to the audience who Jon Snow really is, everyone has been dying to see the reaction of his family when they find out. And they skip it. They skip Sansa and Arya's reaction to who Jon really is. And they also skip Tyrion's reaction when Sansa tells him. I don't understand. I don't know if this is because Benioff and Weiss didn't know how to write it. That's the only reason I can think of. I don't know why you would skip that. It seems pretty important to me. I'm not sure if these notes are in order, but let's see. The next thing I have is Dany can't see the ships from up in the air. Now, she's flying ahead of the fleet. She's obviously high enough to see all the ships coming, but for some reason doesn't see them. Another example of bad writing. Let's see. Why are they all calmly approaching Dragonstone as if they're not expecting the Greyjoy fleet when they know it's there? Now, I saw a clip from the behind-the-scenes featurette with Benioff and Weiss, and their explanation is that Dany simply forgot. She simply forgot that Cersei has the Iron Fleet. I mean, it seems kind of important to me. I don't know how she would forget that. But that was their explanation. And then immediately you have one dragon getting hit. Now, it was either 3 or 4 times, but the shots were 3 for 3 or 4 for 4. They did not miss a single shot. They hit it twice, I believe, in the abdomen and 1 time in the neck. Didn't miss a single shot. Okay, and they bring it down. Dragon's dead. 1 dragon left. And then they all fire on the dragon and they all miss. It's just too convenient writing for me. The next thing I have is the wildlings aren't fighting for Jon down south. Don't they realize that if Cersei wins, she'll try to take them over as well? Now, this episode shows how loyal Tormund is to Jon. He respects him as a king, as a fighter, and as a man. But he decides to head back up north and not fight with Jon down south. I don't understand why Jon wouldn't try to get Tormund to come with him and tell him exactly what I just read, which is that Cersei would try to take over as much as she could, including the wildlings. Just another example of bad writing. Why didn't Jaime and Brienne go south with everyone else? Now, I talked to my brother about this, and his explanation was that it is Brienne's duty to watch over Sansa. Okay, not a bad explanation, but I would think that Jaime and Brienne would both understand that how important this battle is, and that they could use every soldier they can get their hands on, especially after losing either half of their army or over half of their army in the battle against the White Walkers. Again, not very well explained. And I don't understand the battle plans. Again, you know, everyone has been talking about how bad the battle plans were for episode 3. And they continue to be poor battle plans in episode 4. I don't understand why any of the good guys didn't try to get to King's Landing all at the same time. I don't understand why Dany is in such a rush. I don't understand she wants the throne, but she's not willing to listen to anyone about what to do. She's just calmly going into Dragonstone. It doesn't make any sense. Okay. Let's see. Okay, right. Okay, Gendry has sex with Arya, and he loves her now. He didn't seem to be head over heels for her before they had sex. Now, I always had the impression that they both liked each other. They make a point to show that Gendry is not a virgin when he has sex with Arya. But for some reason, after the battle, he acts as though he's had sex for the first time. And he's in love with Arya, just head over heels. That seemed out of character for me. I understand that he was excited that he's a lord now and that, you know, he wants Arya to be his wife. But he was just like, there were hearts in his eyeballs or something. It just seemed out of character that he would be that vulnerable just from having sex with her one time. I guess it's the best sex he's ever had. That's the only explanation I have. Okay, the next thing I have is, so many people go in the water from the attack, and the bad guys only capture one person. Of all those people, they capture one person, and it just so happens to be someone the audience knows. Now, I thought a simple fix would be just have them capture around 20 people, and Missandei can be one of them. That seems more reasonable, but having them capture just one person, and it just happens to be a character we know, and it's not a stranger, it's just lazy writing. And it happens so fast, and how do you capture one person of all those people that were in the water? Did they send a ship out? I don't know, they just didn't show it. Also, in that same section of the episode, why fake us out with the pole, the ship pole, falling on Tyrion just to show that he's fine like a minute later? Like, do you really expect me to think that, oh no, Tyrion was killed by a ship pole? Give me a break. What is that? I mean, if you're going to do that, at least end the episode there to keep us waiting. Well, I mean, you know, I mean, what is it? It is like a minute later they show that he's fine. So, I don't know. That was whatever. Okay, and then this part kills me. This is the biggest problem I have with this episode. Okay. Dany stands outside the gates of King's Landing with as little as maybe 30 people, and Cersei doesn't fire on them. I have here, she had almost 10 scorpions, maybe over 10, and very many bows and arrows. You expect me to believe she wouldn't kill Tyrion? That's all she's ever talked about. So they're standing up there on the wall. They have like 10 scorpions, like a ton of people with bows and arrows. You could easily fire the scorpions at the dragon, because clearly that works very well based off of the same episode where they just took down that other dragon. I think his name was Dragol or something. So you can take out the dragon very easily. The shot pans over and shows like Dany there with it couldn't be more than 30 people. And I mean, you could just wipe them out. Cersei has her hand up, ready to fire the arrows at Tyrion and the rest, and decides not to. For what reason? Are we supposed to believe that she secretly loves Tyrion? I don't buy that. So it's completely out of character for her not to do that. the only reason she didn't do it was so that those good characters, as in Tyrion and Dany and Grey Worm, could stick around for the next 2 episodes, I assume. Completely out of character for her. And the very last note I have here is Benioff and Weiss are extremely, extremely overrated. We see what this show has become after they've left the books behind. You know, I said it last season with season 7. If they're good showrunners and if they're good writers, like everyone says, then why can't you write enough content to get season 7 to 10 episodes? Why do you have to settle for 7? Why do you have to settle this season for 6 episodes? Why can't you stretch this season out to 10? Clearly, if you look at episode 4, it feels like 2 separate episodes mushed together. It feels like there's a Winterfell episode, and then there's the King's Landing episode, and they're just sloppily put together. You know, Benioff and Weiss are said to be doing the 3 Star Wars movies, and the rumor is that it's going to be the Knights of the Old Republic storyline or based around that era. This makes me, I'm wearing a Star Wars shirt right now. I'm a huge Star Wars fan. This makes me extremely worried for whatever they're doing because of what I can see with Game of Thrones. Ever since they left the books behind, it's been extremely lazy, and I believe that it has exposed them for the overrated writers that they are and showrunners. So, listen, if you have any explanations for any of these questions that I have, please leave them in the comments below. I love Game of Thrones. I hope I'm wrong about all these things. I want to be wrong about all these things because this show used to be so excellent, but now it's just so average. But yeah, please, if I missed anything, let me know in the comments below. Like this video, subscribe, and I'll have some more videos coming out. I'm going to review the rest of this season of Game of Thrones. Hopefully the next 2 episodes are much better. I'm expecting, obviously, a battle over King's Landing with Dany's troops and Cersei's troops. So hopefully they won't mess that up like they've messed up the last 2 episodes. But like I said, comment, like, subscribe, and we'll catch you next time. Have a good one.